Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon with another episode of Loot Capsule. I think the video is working this time. I actually have an alternate setup, so the quality isn't going to be as good as like the previous ones. I'm basically recording the audio and video on the same track. On my older ones I had them on different tracks and I was transferring them to a different computer, and I was able to adjust the audio up and down because of that. So this is just going to be straight on one track, and I won't be transferring to the other computer, which I was having problems with. So anyway, moving on. The last episode of Loot Capsule covered 2 batches, basically. So I'm ready to open a third because it's another 2 weeks. I would say I probably opened 27 to 28 by now, because aside from the show, I've been opening the ones that I earned from the stabilizer event. So this is another batch of 10 that I'm going to open that were purchased. But first, let's take a look at what the drops are worth on the broker right now. So we're going to look at the armor, because that's the main attraction. And we're just look at the Shimtar items. So, like I mentioned before, and consistent with the Future Crusader set, is the gauntlets and belt that are the lowest prices. Now you see these are like 400 to 500. Future Crusader was about half of that price, and I also explained that in the previous episode that this came out the same time as the DLC, and it's the equivalent gear. It's equivalent to the purple drop in the DLC. So people were basically stepping this up. People who shelled out hundreds of dollars were probably going through several sets to step up the CR. So that's why these are more rare. But if you open them in the boxes, they should be roughly 10%, at least based on my open rate, at least. Alright, so moving along here, you've got the rest of the items in the middle. The leggings, pauldrons, which are the shoulders, and you've got the greaves, or boots. And also, like the other set, you're going to see the head, chest, and back are the most rare. And you should see those, if you're lucky, around 5 million up. But they're mostly going to hover around the 7 to 9. These did drop a little bit when they had the stabilizer sale, because more boxes were being opened. But now that we're back in the normal price, I think it's back normal price, the prices kind of went up again. So yeah, they're around 7. 7 is like the average. So the other attraction we're looking at are the emblems. And actually, these are, I didn't mention this last time, but this is like, it's different than the previous lantern set in presentation. So let's take a look at these. Now you don't get the emblem straight up. They're in a cache, so you can't preview them from here. The disadvantage of that is, if you haphazardly collected them, like on some characters, you can't tell from this menu, because it won't show as green on the tooltip, because it's not actually an emblem. What it is, it's a package. Like if you open the cache, you get an emblem and a plan, an upgrade plan. Because this time around, you can potentially get 2 styles for each of these. You get one straight away, and the other one you need the unbreakable motes to upgrade the style, like once you have the regular style. So that's the reason for the cache. I mean, it's just annoying that you can't tell if you have like a lot of tunes like me, and so you kind of have to keep checking the feat menu if you're like alting around and haphazardly consuming these. So like on Shadow Dragon, it's on styles. I think it's just theme styles, right? Yeah, so you can see that I have all of the lower ones, and Hades is one of the rare ones. So I think I only have that on 2 tunes. But let's take a look again at the broker prices. So a lot of these became really cheap. So the lower ones you have Hera, Hecate, Aphrodite, and Ares. You should be able to get all 4 of these for under 2,000. So even if you're premium, you should be able to get these. Oh, the other cool thing about having these in caches is they stack. I don't know how high, but probably 99, I'm guessing. But the neat thing about this is you can get a lot of these for cheap and just stack them up in your inventory, because you know these time capsules are for a limited time, or you'll see it disappear and come back, you know, much later, maybe several months later. So it's kind of a good idea to pick up you know, a bunch of these for cheap, stack them up, and then like sell them later on to, you know, to someone who missed the promo. So paging along, there are going to be pages of these common ones, and then like in the middle you're going to have Athena and the Amazon Eagle. I got lucky and got them for 10. But you're going to see these for like probably the 20s through the 50s. I would say pull the trigger at 20 if you see these. At this moment in time, at least. And then when you get to the top, the 2 rare ones are Hades and Zeus. These did drop a little bit from the last time because they were 400 last time I looked at them. So I would say spend 200 or less. Like if you check the broker a lot, try to get them for 200. Alright, moving on to the next attraction. We're going to look at the moats. Moat. Alright, there we go. I think these were consistently around the 300 area per piece. Let's see, I opened 25 or 25 to 28 boxes, and I still only got 1. So that makes it very, very rare. It's more rare than getting one of the armor pieces. And I did look up the cost from the last time. If you have an emblem, it takes 3 of these motes to get the upgrade emblem. And if you have an armor piece, it takes 5 motes. So I'm either going to have to start buying these or getting really lucky in the boxes. Okay. Now, I opened the previous 25 mostly on Alyssa, my T8 character. And I did that because like she's my main, and it's just easier to tell in the beginning, like to just to consume the collection pieces. So yeah, that was kind of a lazy decision. Just open them on her. But when I look at all the drops, it probably makes more sense for me to open them on Shadow Dragon, who is mid T7. And if you looked at my Future Crusader videos, if you're mid T7, the provisions boxes have a chance of yielding the 8.3 generator mods for some reason. They're yielding like the T8s for mid T7. I don't know if the Amazon capsules are doing the same, but we're about to find that out. So that's why I'm opening the next 10 on Shadow Dragon. Okay, I think I cleared up enough inventory space, so here we go. At least that should be enough for 5. So I'll open 5 at a time, and I'll use the shared bank if need be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright. So what I'm noticing a lot about these capsules, like as opposed to Future Crusader, is these bites seem to be dropping more often for me. Maybe in smaller batches, but definitely more often. Alright, so we got... I mean, I have a lot of tunes, so I can use every color. I mean, I craft every type of mod, pretty much. So, that's all good stuff. 2 Amazon Tactical mods. Now, these are back mods. And at the moment, I don't think they're better than the turf ones. I mean, I like my breakout protection on most of my characters. But these may come into play during the stats revamp, or after the stats revamp. So you should save these up even if you're not using them. So this one, Soulwell for sorcery, could definitely use that. And the other one is Earth. Now I don't have an Earth character, but one of my Earth friends sent me a couple of fire mods, so I'm gonna reciprocate and send that one back. Now these collections I kind of have to be careful about, because these are more rare in these capsules than Future Crusader. So I'm definitely not getting these as often. So I have to pay attention to which ones I want to put the reward, like, you know, which characters I want the rewards on. Love is Love is the Sapphire Mist aura. So I definitely want to put down a character that has a Star Sapphire armory. The end of the Underworld collection is for the Hades crown. So I'm gonna make sure I put the priority on Tacitus, my main villain, because she's the only royal character that could make use of that. Okay, more bites. Greek god emblem. So let's see what we get here. So we got one of the common ones, Aphrodite. I think I have that on all characters, the 4 common ones at least. So I'll just stack that up and save it, because right now it's not worth selling. Aphrodite is going to be below 2,000. Another collection for the Hades crown. And provisions capsules. Okay, so this is what I've been waiting for. See if we get the generator mods if we're below like the Olympian CRs. Nope, complex materials and a sapphire collection. And we got bites. And it looks like Proto Mainframe Bot is still in the loot table. But at least these aren't dropping as often as they were in Future Crusader. Alright. So let me clear a little bit of inventory to make room for the next 5. So I'm keeping these on different tunes. Complex materials. I can stack into my own inventory. And I have designated bank alts for like all these different types of inventory items. Alright, plenty of room. Pretty much got it all back. Forgot about the back mods. Alright, next 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Mainframe brought more bytes. Another complex. Stack that up. And how about that? 2 Shimtars. That's pretty lucky. I was only expecting 1. But let's see what parts we get. So we got the common gloves. And the common belt. I know I have both of those on Alyssa already, so I will just store them up if I have space, and I don't. See, that's the thing about lower tunes. You end up getting these drops that attune much higher, so you kind of have to save them for a much longer time than normal. So I'll just protect those. And we got 3 more crown collections. Probably common because I have them on this character. Let's see what we get with the Greek god emblem. Common Hera. 2 more sapphire collections. So actually, this batch of 5 is doing well with the collections. Oh wait, what was this? Okay, another tactical. Stokes Flames for fire. So I can file that away on this character. Amazon Provisions. More complex. So yeah, that was a number of provisions capsules, and I didn't get the generator mods. So maybe they took those out altogether. I mean, they took them out for the higher tier because obviously they're not going to give us the Olympian ones. I mean, a lot of materials go into that, so it didn't make sense putting that into the capsule. But it looks like they removed it from the lower tiers, unless I just got really unlucky. Because in the previous capsules, you did see those pretty often. Alright, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of housekeeping here. So all those items stack. Yeah, but anyway, that was the next 10, and I'd say I did pretty good. You know, with the estimated 10% drop, that was actually, of Shimtar, that actually became 20% here, because I got 2 out of 10. Got a lot of collection pieces. Didn't get too many of the, you know, the items that I consider junk, like the proto mainframe bots. I mean, those dropped too often before, so I have like a stack of a lot of those. So yeah, most of it's been pretty useful. But that's it for this batch, and I'll open another 10 in 2 weeks. So good luck with your capsules, and thanks for watching.